I'd like to share with you 2 books that have really inspired me on my minimizing journey. This past Christmas, I asked my husband for 2 books and I received them, thank you. And I'd like to share with you what they are. The first one here is called Live More, Want Less. 52 Ways to Find Order in Your Life. You can read this book and learn a new tip a week, 52 weeks in a year, so you can simply read 1 tip every Monday morning or every Sunday evening and kind of focus on that for the week. That is really cool for those of you who are just getting started, who are either brand new or who have been living this lifestyle for a while and like a refresher. It's really cool to have like homework for the week, a focus, because sometimes we can get caught up on the big goals and forget to do the nitty-gritty small baby steps. The 52 tips are laid out in order for you here in the table of contents. You can read 1 a week, or you can skip to one that sounds extremely interesting to you. You can skip around the entire thing. I would recommend trying each one a week for a year. That would be a really neat way to kind of slowly but surely adjust the way you live. So for example, there's a tip on free cycling, bookkeeping, that's a big one for me. The Law of Subtraction, huge one. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. Ooh, I need to skip to tip 28 right away. That sounds really interesting. Pretty insightful, I bet. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. So this can be a really good read for you. Again, it's good for those of us who are busy, who don't maybe have time to kind of read chapters, because each tip is only a few pages long with a little bit of homework attached, homework I say, attached. Busy mom, doctor's office reading, parking lot reading. This is a good, nice book on the go. Cream of the crop here that you've heard me mention in previous videos that I thought deserved its own separate video is Clutter Free with Kids. But this book was what helped my husband and I also get on the same page, not only in our parenting, but in our parenting through stuff. Now the first section is all about changing your thinking and how minimalism and simplicity is truly having more, and he goes into detail on having more of what, and it's really more of what matters, and it's what more makes life worth living. Section 2 has an amazing layout. There's a part for each item in your home that you may encounter as clutter. For example, toys, clothes, artwork, sentimental items, collections, screens, meaning like televisions and iPods, stuff that goes along virtually, photos, gifts, packing schedules, and preparing for baby. One big area for me, all these are big, but the photos, I have so many photos digitally and I'm overwhelmed, and I do think that's going to be my entire April project and my one and only project, because baby's coming in May and I think more photos are going to be coming then too. So I have got to conquer those photos. So he begins each section with a story of change, a testimony from someone who's been there and lived it, not his own. So he runs a blog. I say he, it's Joshua Becker. And I think it's called Becoming Minimalist. So stories of change are the first thing you see in each section. Then there's some inspiration on changing your thinking. So how are you thinking about toys? Kids need toys. Yes, he also thinks that way, but kids don't need every single toy, for example. Discovering new habits. So I mentioned in a past video, Change Your Habits. He helps you discover new habits per section, for photos, for collections, for sentimental items, for preparing for baby. You've got the testimony, you've got some advice on changing your thinking, some ways to change your habits. You have got a section on freeing your home. I believe that's how we end each one. Basically, how to do it. How can I do this and apply this in my home? He follows the same bullet points in each category of your home that he's written about. It's just a great book. It is so helpful. This is one of those books that I need to reread and highlight again. I don't typically highlight in my books just because I don't know, it's just not in my habit. But this one, I'm going to read this again and again. I know it, and I'm going to want to come back to some important points. You can see I've already flagged a few pages. Finally, section 3 concludes with Free Your Life, and it encourages you to keep the momentum when you put the book down, to approach parenting from a clutter-free standpoint. I think I might have to do a video on that, how I parent clutter-free, because I'm still new to this, but I have made some changes and it's hard and I sometimes feel bad, especially around birthday time. But there is a way to parent clutter-free and still spoil your child, but are you spoiling them with the correct things, right? Are you giving them a plethora of confidence and love, or a plethora of Legos? What do you want to send your child out into the world with? Stop comparing your life and start living it. That one's huge. I think part of the root cause to having so much excess is comparison. So these are just two books, two pretty new recent books to me. What do you read? What blogs inspire you? What YouTubers inspire you? I have a lot of YouTubers and a few blogs and not very many books. I am looking for books. I love to read. So what books do you guys look for? If you've been inspired, please share that inspiration in the comments below for all of us to read and see. Thank you for watching. I hope you read these books, and remember to stop comparing your life and to start living it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. These are your rules, not my rules, your rules. The rules can be one bin, or this shelf, or 3 items each. Whatever your arbitrary